Check out these new super limited D'Angelico guitars. Hi, Sam from Guitar Village here. Recently we've had some really exciting new models in from D'Angelico guitars and we just had to show them off to you. For those of you who aren't really aware of the brand or maybe the series that they offer, in a moment we're going to walk through into the shop and check some of them out and talk a little bit about them. But before we do that, let's look at the history behind the brand. In 1932, John D'Angelico opened his first shop in New York City's Little Italy. He was building around 35 guitars a year and learnt these skills from his uncle, who was actually a violin builder. In 1952, John hired a teenage apprentice, James D'Aguisto, to help out around the shop. And during the 1950s and 60s, the archtop guitars they built in collaboration with each other are some of the finest of the 20th century. Unfortunately, in 1964, John passed away aged only 59, and James took over the company. And he ran the company, still with the D'Angelico name for some time, until he decided to start putting his own name on the headstock. And the D'Angelico brand kind of fizzled out. In 2011, the company was taken over. Still based in New York and designed in New York, the guitars are now made in Korea, and this is an incredible thing. John, in his lifetime, built less than 1,200 guitars, and if you look to buy one today, they are mega bucks, if you can find one. Whereas these new models have all the DNA of the original ones, but because they're built in Korea, they are very affordable. So let's head on through to the Gibson room, which, believe it or not, houses lots and lots of Gibsons, but some D'Angelico guitars, more importantly, are in there as well. They've set this up so they have 3 different series, and the first one we're going to look at is the Premier series, just like this Premier SS I have right here. So this is part of the very budget-friendly series, and this guitar is really, really cool to look at. So you get that kind of original design and styling, but at a very affordable price. I love things, you know, some of the little details which are really nice, like the staggered pickguard with the binding around it, and it's tortoise shell, and I just really like it. And oh, there's something on the back of this guitar. I had to put it in there somewhere. Now, the next series we're going to look at is the Excel series. So these are the most kind of historically accurate models, just like this EXL one I have here, based on John's original designs. And they also do the, sorry, not the Premier, they do the Deluxe series. So these are like the XLs, but they've got some kind of modern tweaks. The new ones we've had in though, the limited edition ones, are right here. We've got 4 of them in stock, and these are amazing looking guitars. What they've done is they've taken the regular kind of versions of these, but added some really nice limited edition tweaks. So you've got things like a Macassan ebony pickguard on there, which is really, really cool to look at. They've all got satin hardware on there with locking tuners. It's the little things that really make the difference. These models will be limited in 3 versions of each color, and there'll be only 50 of each of those variations worldwide. So this is a really limited run. Now, we've also got things like Seymour Duncan pickups in there. These are the Antiquity Retrospect humbuckers, so very kind of PAF sounding, except the Atlantic, which still has Seymour Duncan pickups, but it's a stacked P90. We've got, like I said, the Atlantic in, we've got the SS, we've got the Mini DC, and the regular size DC, which we're going to take through now and check out. Follow me. Right, so the first one we're looking at, this is the Deluxe DC Limited in the rust finish. It's a very, very pretty looking finish. You know, it's kind of almost got like a kind of copper vibe going on with it as well. Something I didn't mention actually about the specs when I was talking about things like the locking tuners and the pickups is that the guitars are actually equipped with coil splits as well. So you have one for each pickup, so it's going to make it very, very versatile. We can kind of see where the design elements of the DC came from, so I think this is going to be perfectly suited to kind of blues rock players, maybe some jazz players as well, but also quite a lot of other styles too. So we were just looking at the regular size DC. Well, this is the DC Mini, and this is in the very attractive looking sage finish. For those of you out there who have kind of wanted to own something like a DC or similar kind of guitar, but found it a bit cumbersome, the Mini solves this problem. It feels like you're sitting with a solid body guitar, but without the weight and with the benefit of being semi-hollow. This is the Deluxe SS in the sapphire finish. And out of the 4 guitars we're checking out today, I would say this is kind of the most jazzy out of all of them. I really love the tailpiece on it. It's kind of like the stair step type design going on there. Very, very 30s New York. The last guitar we're going to check out, and the only solid body of the 4, is the Atlantic. Now this is equipped with P90s, unlike the humbuckers we were seeing in the other guitars. This is a funky, funky looking guitar, and I just think it's really fun and refreshing to check out. They've done some really nice features on this too that make it very, very playable, and you can see it across the back of the guitar. We've got the really nice belly contour there, but the thing that most impressed me about this is the way they blend the neck and the body together. So the way they've done that, it just makes it super accessible to the upper frets, and the way it goes from this kind of nice glossy colour finish to a natural satin finish is just really, really fun too. So there's some cool new limited edition D'Angelico guitars for you to check out. Just to reiterate from earlier, so the 4 models we showed you will each be available in 3 different colours. And of those variations, there'll only be 50 of each of those, so they are very, very limited. If you like the way they look and you like the way they sound, get down to the shop and check them out as soon as possible. Also, if you've not tried a D'Angelico guitar before, put it on your to-do list. We really enjoyed making this video and we hope you enjoyed watching it. We'll be bringing out new videos every Friday at 4 p.m, so hit the subscribe button now to stay up to date with our latest content. If you want to check out any of these guitars, we'll be putting the links in the description below, along with the link to this Supro Black Magic Amp which we were using for some of the demonstrations. In 1932, I was going to say DeGuisto. In 1932, not DeGuisto. In 1932, I want to say DeGuisto. Come on. James DeGuisto. It's so similar. I mean, in 1932, D'Angelico. John is right, but it's the surname. In my head, I'm thinking John wanted to trade under his own name. James. In 1952, he hired James. This is hard. This is really hard.